It's one of those things where you have to be really just your brain has to be wired in a certain way. And there was a guy named one of these people who was convinced me. He didn't mean to convince me, but just by observing him, he
Yeah.
convinced me that I should not try to be a theoretical physicist. His name was Yosanta, and Yosanta was from Sri Lanka, and he was one of the most brilliant people I'd ever met. My friend Joe and I were working on a very difficult partial differential equations problem set one night, and there was one problem that we worked on for 3 hours,
Mhm.
and we made no headway whatsoever. And we looked up at each other at the same time, and we said, Yosanta. So we went to Yosanta's dorm room,
Yeah.
and he was there. He was almost always there. And we said, Yosanta, we're having trouble solving this partial differential equation. Would you mind taking a look?
Mhm.
And he said, of course. By the way, he was the most humble, most kind person.
Mhm.
And so he looked at our problem and he stared at it for just a few seconds, maybe 10 seconds. And he said, cosine. And I said, what do you mean, Yosanta? What do you mean cosine? He said, that's the answer.
Mhm.
And I said, no, come on. And he said, let me show you. And he took out some paper and he wrote down 3 pages of equations.
Mhm.
Everything canceled out.
Mhm.
And the answer was cosine. And I said, Yosanta, did you do that in your head? And he said,
Yeah.
oh, no, that would be impossible. A few years ago, I solved a similar problem. And I could map this problem onto that problem. And then it was immediately obvious that the answer was cosine. I had a few, you have an experience like that. You realize maybe being a theoretical physicist isn't what what the universe wants you to be. And so I switched to computer science, and that worked out really well for me. I enjoy it. I still enjoy it today.